Hi Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Tuesday. And so today we're going to do our last episode of Try a Technique. And so that I hope you have enjoyed the last 4 episodes, and today is the 5th and final episode. So starting in August, we'll be doing a new series, and we'll see how that goes. So today I'm excited because this is a really cool technique. I'm calling it bubble wrap background. But it's not limited to backgrounds. I mean, actually, you could do a whole page of this, your whole card, or you could just, do a whole bunch of it and then punch it out or cut it out with your cut and emboss. So it's not limited to just a background, actually. But let's give it a whirl and see what you think of it. Okay, so today we are going to be using this small bubble wrap. And as tempting as it is to punch, pop them, try not to, because that actually makes the technique better if they are intact. All right, so color-wise, I have decided to go back to the color wheel and look at my colors to see what 3 colors I wanted to use for my ink. Since I'm making a coffee card, and a Calypso Coral is basically one of the colors in the designer series paper, I started with that. So I'm looking at Triadic, and I'm starting with Calypso Coral, and then it's also telling me Gorgeous Grape and Garden Green. So those are my 3 colors that I'm going to be using today. And I'm also going to be doing some white, using some white pigment ink for this technique. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is pull out our reinkers. So I have all 3 reinkers in those 3 colors. Okay, and then I also have my white pigment ink, which is getting a little low because I've had it a long time and I've used it quite a bit. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to put a couple drops of white pigment ink. It's called craft ink, okay, but I'm calling it pigment ink because that's what it is. So the reinkers are dye ink. These are water-based. So if you haven't used them in a while, you want to give them a shake. And then we're going to put 2 drops of the reinker on top, or 3. 3 comes out. Let's see, I think this one needs to be shaken also. Okay. You're probably like me where you don't use your reinkers a lot. And then Gorgeous Grape. Okay, now I'm going to just use my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to give those a little stir. I'm going to use my paper towel to clean off my Take Your Pick tool. So I'm going to stir that up. That white ink in with the colored ink. So you can see that the ink starts to get a little lighter because you're mixing in your white. I'm going to use daubers today. I think those are my best medium to pull these onto my bubble wrap. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my, I have an old, it's got a little ink on it, but it's okay. It's old. Okay, and I'm actually going to just add this to my bubble wrap. Just going to go up a line, kind of like that. So this is where you get to be creative. Don't push too hard because you'll pop those bubbles. I think I just popped one. The next one I'm going to do is Garden Green. So I'm not going to go, I'm going to try to kind of go just above the other color. And you can do as much or as little, if you want to just do 1 row, if you want to do 3 rows, feel free. And we're going to do Gorgeous Grape. Ooh, that's pretty. I love Gorgeous Grape. Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape look so pretty together. Okay, I'm going to make one more quick row And I want to cheat myself here on this cool technique, so I'm just going to do this. So you also need some clear embossing powder. And clear embossing powder comes in these little pots. Okay. I use it a lot, so I actually have mine put into a little, like a little Tupperware container. But you can just keep it in your little pot if you want, whatever works for you. I'm going to kind of vary this a little bit. I'm going to go up and down. And then the last one, I'm just going to do a little more gorgeous grape here on the end. Okay, I have another card for you to show you at the end, so I hope I don't forget. I've been known to do that. Okay, so those are done. You can clean those, even though that's pigment ink. You can clean that. Okay, I'm just going to take my paper towel, clean off my glass. Did you guys get one of these glass mats? Oh my gosh, I love, love, love this glass mat. So easy to clean, and it also you can clean it with your hand sanitizer. If it gets glue on it, that works really well. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a piece of white cardstock, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. Lay that down, and I'm just going to lay this down right here and give it a little press. Again, trying not to pop the bubbles. A light, gentle press. All right. And when you take it up, this one looks like it didn't get a lot of ink. This one, there we go. You can come and add a little pressure in those areas where it didn't take as much. Oh, that's so pretty. All right. So now I'm going to pitch that. I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to clean this glass off. And the reason is because I do not want that getting on my card base. So if you want, you can use your mist. Stampin' Mist works good. So this technique, I would call it kind of like a mixed media technique, and you can like just make it your own. If you want to make the whole background or however you want to do it. All right, so now we're going to add that embossing powder. So here's how I keep my clear embossing powder. I just keep it in this little tub. And I'm just going to, now this would eventually dry. I think the white pigment ink would eventually dry, but takes a long time. And this will help speed it up. So some of this will get a little bit shiny depending on how much of that white pigment, that white craft refill, you know, actually pops through the dye ink. Okay, I'm gonna take my heat tool and I'm gonna set this on 2. I'm just gonna start right here and just hold it till it gets hot. Takes about 15 seconds for it to get fully hot. It's not going to get really shiny. It's just going to basically, if there's any white pigment ink, it will get shiny in those areas, but mostly it's just going to like heat it and set it. Okay, and this is kind of how you want to do your embossing, heat embossing, is just move it along your cardstock. I have to hold it, actually, when I have a glass mat. And you can, and just like you went back and checked those bubbles, you can go back and check and make sure this is heat set. Okay, I think it's done. It is going to be warm for a second, so you want to let that, you do want to let that just cool off a little bit before you touch it. Okay. There might be that one might need another little touch. If you feel wet, if you feel powder on there, that kind of means so if you don't have any white, you know, you don't really have to use the white ink. You can just go with the reinkers if you want. Okay, so that feels good. Wow, I love it. Okay, so now I have a piece of cardstock, and this is just 5.5 by 8.5. This is gorgeous grape, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold this in half. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to my card. And I am going to put a lot of adhesive on here because it does warp a little when the heat gets to the cardstock. It warps it just a smidge, so I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of adhesive on there. Hard for me to talk and think at the same time sometimes. Work and think and all of it. Okay. Wow, I love that. All right. Now, I went to my latte paper. This is a little latte. And I pulled up one of the coffee cups. Okay, so I'm going to make this a coffee card. And I did pre-cut some perennial postage dies, which fell on the floor. So I cut out a white one and a pecan pie one. And I think I'm just going to adhere this to this white piece. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to do it on an angle. That's pretty cute. I think I might do that. I think I might pop this up with some dimensionals. Yeah. Dimensionals. Just put maybe like 3 on here. Maybe. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up, and I am going to put that, I think I'm going to put that on an angle. Kind of like it. I was going to do it straight, but now I'm thinking an angle. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on there like that. And then I have a piece of Calypso Coral, and this is just a little over 2 by 2. So I'm just going to attach this as a little background, just to make that pop. Okay, so I'm going to attach that to my card. And then I'm going to have my greeting down here. So I want it a little high. I don't want to cover up my whole background. So I think I'm going to put it like right here. And then for my sentiment, I have the Latte Love stamp set. And I'm going to stamp you're the best part of my day. Isn't that an old Folgers ad? You're the best part of my day. Oh, I don't know. Sounds familiar to me. So, let's see. You're the best part of my day. Now I have to decide. Do I want to stamp that in black, or do I want to stamp it in white and heat? I could do that. It'd be really cute if I did that in white. I think I'm going to. So I'm going to stamp this in Whisper White. And then, oh, that's cute. All right, and now I'm just going to add a little clear powder. So if you have white powder, you can just use your Versamark and use your white powder. If you don't have white powder, you can use white ink and use clear powder. So it works both ways. Okay, now this is going to be hot, so I have to hold this. This is going to get a little bit shinier because that white powder was really wet. So it's going to get a little, so if I had used white embossing powder, it would have been a little brighter white. But that's okay. I think it looks good. Okay. we go. Close this pad. Pop this one up. And add this right here. That's the best part of my day. Let's add a few little embellishments. These are the ombre matte decorative dots. And I'm just going to add a few of these Calypso coral ones. So these are ombre, right? So they go light to dark, light, and they get a little darker as they go. And they have these little tiny ones and then these bigger ones. So I think I'm going to use this one. And then a little tiny one. And then here, I think I'm going to use another little tiny one. Just right there. 3, that's good. Okay, so there is my finished card. And like I said, I'm just calling that, you know, bubble wrap background. Okay, and then let me show you the other one I made. So this is the other one that I made. And this one I used blueberry bushel, granny apple green, and bubble bath. Okay, and so I like this one too. I like them both. So this is a birthday card. So tell me which one you like the best. I don't know. I like them both. So thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this series. Try a technique, and I will see you on Friday. My name is Trevis Bossler, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in St. Louis, Missouri. Thanks for subscribing and liking my videos.